Welcome to Stanley Relationship Corner. Today, I'm going to talk about something that is very, very important. I'm going to talk about 12 most deadly habits of a husband that can destroy his marriage. While having fun and enjoying the companionship of your wife will surely make your marriage strong, there are certain habits that can have the opposite effect on your marriage. And those habits will ruin it altogether. The thing about habits, though, is that they are often invisible to those who have them. Husbands might not even be aware of their negative impact on their marriage until they have destroyed it altogether. Now, let me ask you a question. What do you think is the greatest threat to marriage? You can say it's money or intimacy. Some of you can say in-laws. Yes, if you say any of this, you may be correct. But there is one thing that is even more deadly. And what is that thing? Habit. Bad habit. The tiny bad habit you as a husband you form day after day can lead to major trouble down the road and destroy your marriage. Here are 12 most deadly habits of a husband that can destroy his marriage. Number 1, when you belittle or undermine your wife before others. Belittling your wife in front of others is one of the most common ways that husbands destroy their marriages. A husband can do this by telling her she is wrong or making her feel small in any way before other people. It could be as simple as calling her stupid for asking for direction or asking questions. It can also be a form of rebuking her and making her feel bad about herself. A husband who belittles his wife will often tell his friends how she does not know anything, does not have any thought on the subject he is discussing, and has no opinion worth hearing. He might make fun of what she likes to wear or how she takes care of herself. He might even use these things against her in an argument. And when you think that the show must stop, when the audience go home, think again. These tactics are used in private too, so his wife feels embarrassed and ashamed of herself for making her look bad. There are 2 ways this habit can affect your marriage. A, you will want to avoid doing it at all costs because you do not want to risk losing your wife. If you do not change, you are going to end up with a broken heart because you are destroying not only yourself but someone else's life too. One of the worst aspects of this habit is that you might not even realize you are doing it. When you belittle your wife, do you laugh at her afterwards? Maybe you tell her whatever, in quote, after she has said something. Maybe roll your eyes after she shares a story from her day. All these actions are subtle forms of putting her down and belittling her opinion. You don't see them as hurtful because they are done privately. But imagine what will happen if everyone did that to each other. Would there ever be peace? The truth is, we've all been guilty of treating people we love poorly sometimes. But whether you are trying to hurt someone deliberately or not, it is still hurtful. The goal should be to cut out this destructive behavior before it causes more damage. To do that, first recognize the signs that you are belittling her in public. Do you get angry quickly? Do you criticize every little thing she does? Is everything her fault? Does every conversation turn into a lecture where she's made to feel like she's always doing everything wrong? Next, ask yourself, why are you belittling your wife in public? Could it be that you are jealous? Could it be that you are insecure and feel like she's better than you are? See, one thing with belittling your wife in public is the more you continue belittling your wife, the more you are gradually making her to become somebody she never was. Now, there are some wives that will react by going into their shell, by not trying to make her husband to feel humiliated in public. She will endure the pain, she will endure the torture, but deep down in her, something is happening. She's losing regard, she's losing the hope she once had in that marriage. The more you continue doing that, you will notice that your wife will go into her shell because she doesn't want to offend you, especially if she's a wife that is submissive and obedient to her husband. She will go into her shell. When she's supposed to talk, she will not talk. You just notice that she is gradually turning to another person because she wouldn't know when to air her opinion, and you will disgrace her and you will embarrass her. Now she will keep her opinions to herself. Even when those opinions could have saved you, could have helped you, she will keep it to herself, and gradually the once happy marriage will gradually be fading away. The happiness will be going away. If you continue belittling your wife in public, you are making your wife not to defend you. You're making your wife not to speak when she wants to talk. You're making your wife not to air her opinion. You're making your wife to look at you as if she's a fool. Maybe one of the things that is making you to see your wife as a changed woman, as somebody that has changed from being lovely to a hostile person, is because of the hurt. You have belittled her too many times in private and in public that she doesn't know what to say again. She has tried to call your attention to it, and you keep on apologizing. You keep on telling her you are sorry. The danger of belittling your wife is that at the end of the day, she will lose her voice. Number 2, when the husband does not communicate with his wife. Communication is one of the keys to maintaining joy in a marriage. Both the wife and the husband should talk to each other every day, no matter how light the conversation is. A silent house with no interaction between husband and wife will lead to losing your love and care for one another. Healthy communication is one of the bases of a happy marriage. If communication is lacking in a marriage, it can be difficult to stay happy in that marriage. Yes, communication might change over time. Perhaps at the start of the relationship, the communication was good because both of you were trying to get to know each other and it all seemed exciting and romantic. This obviously changes when you are married, but it should not change in a bad way. It should change for the better. Clear communication is the key to living in a happy house and sustaining an open and honest relationship with each other. Usually, men are worse at communication than women. Women are much more likely to want to openly talk about anything and everything, but men tend to shut themselves off. This can cause havoc in a marriage if simple communication about daily plans or household tasks cannot happen clearly. Things might not get done when the communication is not there. Without clear communication, all you have left is expectations. The husband will start expecting the wife to know what he meant by the body language or actions. This is how resentment starts. Do you know that before you got married, you probably shared everything with her? She was possibly your safe harbor and you always confided in her. Unfortunately, you no longer act that way. Instead of sharing everything with your wife, you may keep her at a safe distance, and as a result, you may not be connecting emotionally with her. Maybe you are doing this unconsciously, or you are simply trying to protect her from certain things, but no matter what, it may make her feel excluded from your life. She may feel like you are pushing her away, which is not what any wife wants to feel. You must talk to your wife and listen to her. You don't just talk without listening, or you don't just listen without talking back. You must talk to her and you must listen to her. Do you know that communication is also really important after an argument? Argument and disagreement is a normal and healthy part of life as long as it is not happening constantly. However, to move forward after an argument, you, the husband, need to resolve it and speak about it. A lot of husbands feel attacked after an argument with their wives and they are not willing to discuss it or work it out afterwards. That is not good. There are some wives that after an argument, they may go to their husband to bring about peace, and there are some that we wait for the husband to come. It is not pride. No, they see themselves as, yes, you are the one in charge, you are the head, you are the leader. We are supposed to make the first move to resolve the issue after the argument. If a husband is not communicating well with his wife, the wife is going to end up feeling like a stranger in her own home. When a husband is not communicating well with the wife may be suffering without saying it. Some may say it. You will just notice that your wife that used to, be happy when the two of you are together at home, you will notice that she will now be going back. That happiness will not be there. And you will notice that when she is smiling, you deep down as a husband, you know that this is not from the heart of your wife. You know that this smile, she's just doing that as a camouflage. Something has happened. Women need to talk. And if you as the husband is not providing this avenue for them to talk with you, relate with you, you may make her to feel angry and upset, whereby she may be in that marriage, but her heart is not in that marriage. Sometimes they may remain there because of the children. Sometimes they may remain there because of the hardship in her father's house. Now she doesn't have any option, but she will not be happy there in that marriage. Number 3, when a husband spends more time with his friends than with his wife. The husband and the wife should not separate each other from their friends once they are married. It is unhealthy and it may lead to unhappiness. But as much as your marriage is concerned, you should give more time to your wife than your friends. If you as a husband finds yourself spending more time with your friends than your wife, especially when it does not add value to your life, then you need to reconsider the consequences of that action before it is too late. Do you know that regardless of the status of a marriage, you are still in a romantic relationship? The only difference between a marriage and a relationship is that you are in the marriage for life. You have to keep the romantic connection alive, otherwise it is going to fail. Do you also know that one of the most common reasons for breakdown in marriages is because the two people involved just grew apart over time? As a husband, you may not realize this, but when you spend quality time with your wife, that is one of the ways to keep her happy and fulfilled, and as well as increasing the value of her connection. Of course, life can get busy and interrupt quality time between husband and wife sometimes. However, if a husband is constantly spending more time out of the house or with friends, then his wife might start to feel alone. She will begin to feel lonely in her marriage, and she might come to hate the fact that she is married to a man that no longer values her time. This can lead to the wife becoming more distant, and therefore the deep and emotional connection they had before will start to fade away. Over time, the husband will realize that he is in a marriage where he spends little or no time with his wife. Number 4, when he loves to flirt with other women. If you think that constantly flirting with other women is fine, then you should put your wife in your shoes. Do you think that it is okay for your wife to be flirting with other men? An unguarded heart and emotions can lead to extramarital affairs. You should not flirt with any woman except your wife. Perhaps you were a bit of a player before, and even in the first stages of dating your wife. Once a man is married, he should not be flirting with other women. Of course, if it is funny, playful, and he is open with his wife about it, there is no harm in that. Men will always have meaningless flirt because it makes them feel good. However, this is not the type of flirting I'm talking about. If a husband is going out of his way to flirt with other women, or is seriously attracted to someone else, or he acts like he is not married, this could bring a big problem in his marriage. It is simply not fair on his wife for him to be flirting with other women in a serious way. Do you know that if the wife finds out that he has been doing this, she might start to feel insecure and anxious that he will cheat on her in future? This can be hard on a wife if her husband is no longer intimate or romantic towards her, but is outwardly showing those emotions to other people. She will obviously start to worry that he is finding his fun elsewhere. Now, you husband, do you know that you are no longer single? So there is no reason that you should be acting like this. A woman also deserves to be in a secure and committed marriage. So if she can see that this is clearly not the truth, she may start feeling insecure and she may start having a plan B. Number 5. A husband who does not apologize. Do you know that as a husband, when you offend and apologize to your wife, you are simply saying that you are sorry for what you have done to her and that you will never repeat that again. But not apologizing means not giving a damn about what she will think. Any man who never apologizes for his mistakes makes his wife feel less worthy. If you want to preserve your marriage, you want to preserve the love you have for your wife and save your marriage, don't treat her like something replaceable. Treat her like the delicate flower she is. There are husbands that can never apologize when they are wrong. Rather, they will shift the blame onto their wife. All marriages have conflicts. Learn to apologize and move on. Many husbands see apology as a sign of weakness. Instead of arguing and making it worse, accept your fault and concentrate on more significant things. Growth and closeness can increase as conflict is resolved. For your wife, an apology means she has moved forward through the conflict and she is now seeking peace. When you refuse to apologize, you stand your ground and signal that the fight continues. Many husbands see apologizing as a sign of weakness. They think, if I apologize, she won't respect me anymore. On the contrary, if you humbly apologize and ask her for forgiveness, she will see you as somebody that has a heart filled with affection for her. There's something with marriage You may not get the desired result immediately. You may apologize and it's like nothing has changed. But that thing you are doing, she is seeing it that you have love for her, that you regard her feeling. Over time, you will notice that if you are offended or if you are angry, she will apologize when she is wrong. Even when she is not sure whether she's right or wrong, she will apologize because you have set the pace. Your small act of contrition soothes her spirit and acts as a healing balm over her heart. Furthermore, it shows that you are open and willing to make things work, that you care enough to admit to your faults and move past them. Number 6, when a husband is not connecting to his wife emotionally, do you know that your wife feels energized when she is close to you? Refusing to let her know the real you is destructive to her and to your marriage. While you strive to keep your independence, she longs to connect with you. She wants to connect emotionally, that is, to know you. Let your wife know who you are. It is not fair to either of you if you are only affectionate and attentive on the days you want intimacy or something else from her. Affection and closeness ought to be an end in themselves, not a means to a different end. Talking is not the only way women feel close, although it is an important one. Simple ways to fulfill your wife in this area are to hug her often, hold her hand, and to spend some time alone with her. When her need for closeness is met, she will be more inclined to respect your need for independence. If she feels like she knows you, then she can trust you and give you the space and freedom you need. When your wife feels close to you, she will also be more willing to engage with you on a more intimate level. You build trust by allowing her to see who you are and by allowing yourself to be vulnerable with her. Building trust this way allows her the safety to be more intimate with you. The important thing to remember is to help her feel connected. Try talking to her about your day. Whenever you come back from your business, whenever you come back from your work, whenever you come back from your outing, try talking to her about what happened, about your day, your fears, your hopes, your dreams. Sometimes you can hold her hand when you go out together. Sit next to her. She may be in the kitchen. Just go there, tease her, play with her, help her one or two things. Ask her how she's doing, and for a few minutes, give her your undivided attention while she answers. A little bit of this will go a long way, and it will mean everything to her and to your marriage. Watch out for the part 2 of this video. Thank you. Subscribe to this channel. See you in the next video. If you have any comments, you have any observation, you have any opinion, please put them in the comment section.